Been on the last 4 or 5 games are bangers. What is up? We are live. How y'all doing? What is good, everybody? We are back with another extra episode this week. Florida Blanca.
Yeah.
We're back with another episode this week, but you guys on YouTube won't be getting this uploaded for another 2 weeks because, hey man, the content creation chain, you know how it works. But of course, with your smooth symbiote sounds from left to right, we got Cosmic Kaiser 6.
So everybody, how y'all doing?
We got Despair. This is gonna be a symbiote themed episode. We got Folly of Dreams. And of course, we got the homie Kid Crazy in the building today.
Bloop.
And then your boy, the symbiote king. Super Freak 187 himself. Yes. What is up, y'all? We're live. We got so much going on. We're going a little buck wild. It's a Sunday. Jesus Christ.
Right.
And we're still popping off. We always pop off. Hop in our Discord. But we are live with a lot of things. Hope you guys are ready to see tits on YouTube. That is gonna go hard.
Wait.
New YouTube. I mean, last week we talked about the Game Award nominees. Next time we're gonna be talking about some more Game Award stuff. So we got some gaming news for the board today, and we'll continue with some more Game Award stuff. But damn, yeah, new YouTube guidelines. They're going to allow for nudity in regard to breastfeeding for educational videos, for like educational videos, right? Like, is it Kaiser, could you repeat that for me though? What the headline was?
Sure. So this came from at PopCrave on the old Bird app, and the quote says, YouTube has adjusted its ad-friendly content guidelines. It will now allow breastfeeding videos with nudity, as well as videos with twerking, grinding, and other sensual types of dancing.
Sensual. Ooh.
But is it I need to examine that closely. Is it for kids?
I don't know, man. That's so far what
because
I've got as far as this
YouTube
goes,
has a
but-
YouTube Kids app, and they're very particular with what is on that because
That's definitely not going to be on no YouTube Kids, my guy. They would have
Yeah,
absolutely specified that. With how strict they are with that, they would have absolutely specified that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's just
ain't
like
no
regular
way.
content. Right?
They're gonna rebrand, right? YouTube is gonna be YouTube Kids, and then for everyone else, it's gonna be Big Tube.
Hey, listen,
It's gonna be YouTube
they
Tits.
basically already did that.
Yeah.
They should label it fucking like at the top on YouTube where it says, you know, either says like YouTube or YouTube Premium or whatever the fuck. It should just say YouTube Kids. They should have a separate thing for that. Because
Damn
they're
it.
so
I think
strict
so.
with it already. Like you would think that that's something they would have done. Like,
Are they gonna lock the breastfeeding videos behind the YouTube Premium?
no. That'd be crazy.
No, sorry,
Hold up.
I'm
Don't
memeing.
be giving them any ideas.
I'm memeing.
Nah, that's the real YouTube bread.
That is the real YouTube bread, right? Sheesh.
Crazy.
You know, it's curious, right? Because it's like, who is this supposed to help? Because there's been a lot of drama with YouTube in terms of its ad stuff, right? They take away ad revenue from certain channels that are a little controversial for many different reasons. We're not gonna get into all that, but it's kind of weird that after all these years that they're starting to change their opinion on that, and then I'm wondering who isn't helping. And let's just say the answer.
They ain't changing their opinion.
Right.
They're just mad that people are complaining. People are probably complaining about getting demonetized for very like small offenses, right? So they kind of have to. They're kind of like loosening the shit, the leash a little bit on shit like that. That's probably all it is. Because let's be real, when sometimes I be seeing stories about people getting demonetized or just losing their entire channel for literally nothing. So this is probably to like start combating that, I guess. So it's not as like, you know, it's not as ridiculous to oh, I have a slight bit of twerking in my video, I'm gonna get demonetized, or I'm gonna I'm gonna lose my channel because of this, because someone in the comments decided they wanted to report this as being like, offensive. Because we do have people that do shit like that will literally see anything and they'll just report it, and then you lose your channel.
Oh no, my tits slipped while I was feeding
and
my
you just
baby.
lose your channel. Yeah,
Haters like me.
Let's be real. The only reason they did this shit, to be honest, is because of that one video where the nigga had his fucking butthole completely out on camera. Remember how he was telling y'all remember that video? He was teaching people how to shave their ass. Y'all didn't see that shit?
No.
You didn't hear about that shit? That shit was huge.
No.
Oh my god!
I don't think I
The
did.
the video or the ass?
There was an educational video. Shut up, bro. It was a quote unquote educational
Fucking
video, and he was teaching men how to shave their hairy ass, and it was literally his asshole in the shit. Obviously, I'm not saying turn the video.
But it was technically educational, right?
It was educational, but it was teetering on the edge of what you could get away with on YouTube. I feel like this is their direct response to that.
That phrasing was wild. He said asshole in the shit.
Bro, it was literally his bro. Anyone listening to this that has seen it or knows about it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. His asshole was exposed. It was just straight up asshole. Like
full on gooch.
It's no sense. Yes. It was no censoring. It was no nothing. It was just straight up booty. Like it was some Asian dude. It was some Asian guy with his hairy ass teaching people how to shave their ass.
Double cheeked up on
it. Whatever. Like some people need that because some people got some. We got the dingleberries and nigga need to shave their shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like some people needed that. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm being honest. I'm not even trying.
Those who should not be named about the dingleberries.
Look, no, but right? we're laughing about that shit. But there's definitely some people who probably like, man, I don't know how to do this shit, but they don't want to talk to someone.
Exactly.
And so YouTube searching is like the one educational way where they can find out how to better themselves but not be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shave your shit so your dingleberries aren't flopping around like a dirty motherfucking. Anyway, moving on.
Listen, I'm not opposed to educational content, right? Like I think educational content. I think more so just looking at it though, and immediately seeing the headline, it's just there's also going to be those people out there that are going to take advantage,
step over to abuse
do exactly what
shit.
This guy did, and they're going to tread along the very thin line, right? But the thing is, I'm okay with that because it's better than someone losing their entire platform over something like that.
Yeah.
Like, so obviously you're gonna have. It's not like people like that literally just post straight up porn on this shit, right? Obviously those guys gotta go. But like, there are educational videos. There are educational things about about touchy subjects, right? So I feel like there's a place for those. Like that stuff like that should be able to exist without worrying about am I gonna lose my channel for doing this. Like there's doctors out there that specialize in certain things, right? That making a YouTube channel with a lot like I've been watching lately a lot of like board certified like doctors and shit, like dermatologists, fucking like eye doctors, dentists, all that. I've been watching a lot of that shit lately, and it's like YouTube is an amazing place for shit like that, for like educational stuff. So for those people to be able to do that and not have to worry about whether they're gonna fucking lose their fucking livelihood, cool, I'm with it. To those people that are gonna abuse it, well, there's nothing we can really do.
That's true.
Because those people already exist, even before this. So,
I mean, listen, if people want to learn how to twerk, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Let them be. If they want to learn, you know what I'm saying?
Send a like your way, Who knows? I might even subscribe. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad, like we look at it in that terms, then I don't think too much is really going to change other than people's channels being banned by mistake. I was just curious if you think if open the floodgates for like streamers and other types of risque content, and then like,
we're already kind of there though, aren't we?
But
with all the like hot tub stuff and shit.
Like, I feel like when it comes to streams, if you're doing something that's like, it depends on the context. Like, if it's something that's clearly there to be educational, I'm pretty sure you can tell from the context alone. But I don't think they're gonna loosen up on the idiots that are on the stream just doing like, you know, stupid shit, straight up dumb shit. Like, because let's be real, the only reason why, like, I don't know, motherfuckers been twerking, doing crazy ass dances and shit since forever, right? You can't censor shit. I don't think you should be able to censor shit like that. It's just people doing what, like, come on, man. It's dancing. It's literally dancing. Yeah, you're shaking your ass, but still, like, it's not something that I think should be bannable, unless you're just completely naked or some shit. Like,
it's the ever waging war within like what's okay to post for content and what's not, right? Like, you look at people on Twitch, it's like, oh, Twitch is a video game site. It's like, well, you know, if you think of what Twitch was really, it was not. But even before that, Twitch came from Justin TV, and Justin TV was an anything streaming site.
It was just
right?
Everything.
Yeah, a lot of people were streaming themselves watching watch-alongs, right? Like watching TV or movies and shit like that, right? It wasn't like before copyright came into thing. Yeah. So like, I think
just chatting was a category.
I think video gaming is what made it super popular, specifically with like a lot of like other big streamers. But like then it's like, all right, so now where's that line on what's okay and what's not, specifically regarding like straight porn, right? Like people who are just streaming straight porn versus like, oh, this is a very specific breastfeeding tutorial, which a lot of mothers out there may need, right? And they, you know, we go to the hospital, they teach you in the hospital, but everything happens so fast, and you get back home and it's like, well, my baby's actually not latching. What do I do? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that people can learn from stuff like that. If they kind of find that loophole for twerking, as long as it's an instructional video, you know, hey man, more power to you.
No, the twerking is not going to be. It's not. I think it's a difference. Like, people were getting banned just for having, whether it was education or not. Like that's the point I'm trying to make. I don't think you twerk on a fucking camera.
Yeah,
it should be bannable whether it's educational or not. Like, that's not. You're literally dancing, bro. Like,
yeah,
we can say what we want about
is a dance.
The art of twerking. We can say what we want, whether it's fucking quote unquote appropriate, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You're dancing, guy. Like, why should that be bannable? Come on.
Remember that girl who got banned on Twitch for twerking?
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Because you got people doing way worse things. Like,
but they banned her. I mean, if you looked at why,
you know, people be misbehaving.
No, no, it wasn't her. She was the one showing her birth canal on stream.
Yeah, that was.
It was after that though. It was shortly after that where they started to tighten the reins on thing, and this one girl got banned for twerking. And let's you know, she was THI capital double C. You know, triple C. She had a little junk back there, so that was the main reason why she got banned, was because there was too much recoil.
Banning humans for being humans, bro.
There was too much recoil in her stream.
Unless you're fucking, like I said, unless you misbehaving, right? Like literally and figuratively, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Unless you're fucking misbehaving, fucking, you should be alright. I don't think that's bannable. I think that's like, because then you kind of set like a weird example for banning someone. Yeah, she got some junk. Great. So that's like, yeah. I don't.
But even in their own guidelines,
like
even in their own guidelines, they say that someone can't be banned for being considered sexy, right? Like, so then what the fuck happened there?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
they contradict themselves constantly.
Yeah, that's just stupid. So you're telling me that the only way for twerking to be acceptable is if it's some bony chick? Like, let me stop. Let me not.
No, you're on.
There's no meat. There's no meat on the bones.
I'm
so
not
there's
gonna do
nothing
the
to be
thing. I'm
sexually.
Not doing that.
Yeah.
But like,
you're right.
Like that person. So that person's anatomy is bannable. You're basically saying that person's anatomy is just straight up bannable.
Yeah,
bannable
pretty much, right?
That sounds so dumb. Yeah, we're gonna just looking at your anatomy,
yeah,
and, your dimensions and your shape.
But
you gotta go.
Your booty
crazy.
jiggle a little too much.
A jiggle, a wiggle.
Yeah, but we're not gonna
too much.
But cleavage is fully acceptable. Where's the line drawn? Like,
I mean, to be fair, cleavage
in
is
between the cracks?
the fairly acceptable blurred line since the dawn of
yeah,
time.
but it is until you have the people literally, the women literally adjusting their fucking cleavage every 10 seconds, purposely bouncing their shits around. Like, that's acceptable? That's equivalent to fucking, oh yeah, my
it's a
booty's
loophole.
Like,
It's a loophole. That's what it is.
yeah, it's fucking stupid. So yeah, it's like, where do you draw the line? Like, and Twitch has always, like, that's always been the question on Twitch. Like, where do you guys even draw the line? Because you guys never are consistent with your shit. Like,
you draw the line, like above the areolas.
Shut the fuck up. No, Twitch draws the line.
No, you just wear no.
Nah,
You don't even need to draw it
Twitch draws the
above
line.
the areolas.
Whatever
You
mod-
use
whatever Twitch
stickies.
employee-
Yeah.
Whatever the Twitch employees like is unbannable. Like, if I
That
like
is
it, I'm not banning it.
facts.
That's how it is. Like,
Wow.
And if they do ban it, it's gonna be very, very slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that looked great. Let me ban you just out of principle, you know. Maybe only 3 days though.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. That's besides the point. Educational stuff should not be at risk of getting fucking demonetized or fucking whatever. It's a nice start.
Educational thing doesn't even the educational material doesn't even do well on YouTube as far as their algorithm goes. All right, like people don't want to fucking learn.
No,
It
but doesn't
depends.
it do better in terms of per like?
It does better
I
than
think
gaming.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, it does way better than gaming. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's definitely educational content is probably one of the highest CPMs on the platform. The hell?
And probably the most stable, to be honest.
Yeah, because there's always something. There's always gonna be something people want to learn. Like
Exactly.
I remember there was like a, you know, obviously we all content creation, whatever, right? So you look into stuff like that, like CPM, whatever. Gaming is one of the lowest. Like educational stuff is, I think, isn't educational the highest one?
It's on the higher end, yeah, from
Yeah.
what I remember.
And then like the kid shit, like you don't even want to talk about that. Those motherfuckers balling.
Right.
But
So, well, yeah, I want to.
if I want to learn how to shave my balls, you know what I'm saying? if I was an artist and I was
Shave
like,
your
if I was
dingleberries.
if I was the fucking Picasso of fucking ball shaving, I would fucking put my shit on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'll teach y'all motherfuckers how to shave your balls correctly. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
And leave
I'm
those
sure
shits
there are
smooth as eggs.
Right?
Look, listen, I'm sure there are a lot of little boys that be making their shit bleed. So I'm
Listen,
sure
bro,
someone
when
needs
I was a kid, listen.
Yeah,
I was,
I'm listening.
I was burning, nigga. Like,
Oh man,
I'd be like, you know, my dad would be like, just go put some powder on that shit. I'd be like, okay.
did you guys ever try?
I'm bleeding.
Yo,
All
shit.
right,
I never,
This is
I
the
was
last-
never bleeding, but you know what them shit, when you fuck it up and your shit comes back, your shit itching like a motherfucker. If you
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
that shit up.
Oh, I hope
Like-
you didn't put alcohol down there, because
Hell no, I ain't put no alcohol in my shit.
Bro, I remember one time I shaved my
I did
legs
one time.
because
Yeah,
I
that's
was
probably fell off.
going into a pool. Bro, when I jumped into the pool and the stubble was there, oh my god, it was
Yikes.
terrible. It was awful.
Yeah, I
It was
couldn't.
awful.
I was always too scared to put alcohol down there.
I
Hell
mean,
no.
you really shouldn't. You really
Nah, hell no. No aftershave
You
or nothing was
messed
going
with
down
the
there.
whole fucking ecosystem down there.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, I was like, oh yeah, alcohol cleans, right? And then yeah, so I learned the hard way.
Alcohol cleans, it burns.
Yeah, no, it burns. You're burning.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I think it's good to see a wait and see in the situation, see how this affects the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Here's what we think, but who knows? We could be seeing
Shout
a
out.
whole nother
Shout out to the-
breastfeeding industry out there.
Shout out to the 12 to 13-year-old boys that are
It
yeah.
literally is.
Shout out to the 12 to 13-year-old budding youth of men that are gonna start using breastfeeding videos to
Yeah, I'm gonna
explore
learn how to breastfeed
themselves.
myself, you know? I'm gonna learn how to
Jerry,
do
what
it.
are you doing watching that video of that
do you
girl?
Learning how to
remember?
breastfeed.
Do you remember when we used to look at the only accessible porn that was out there, which was the Victoria's Secret catalog?
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about American Pie.
Is he? Yeah.
thought you were-
No.
Maybe
I mean, both are not wrong.
He
So
said
yeah.
accessible. Motherfucker.
Accessible, the Victoria's Secret catalog, the one that was easily easily, readily there that was acceptable because it was usually sitting somewhere in the vicinity.
I don't know, bro.
But wasn't
Playboy was
also
all
a
over-
Playboy
was in the
magazine was all over the
Yeah,
place.
exactly.
No, I'm talking about for like
Playboy
a for a kid though. When you're a teen, when you're like 12, what do you got?
Oh,
Aside from
I mean,
access to
Playboy
the
magazine. Yo,
access to the
you look
internet
around the
now, I
house,
guess.
Every store I pulled up to had Playboy on the rack, and it was just stuff
every
behind
house.
Shit. Like,
Yeah, but they're not
so I
really
would go
selling
in there,
it to you.
open it
though.
up, and then act like I was reading something else, and be like, "Oh,
You open it up.
Yeah, you gotta fold it. You gotta put it in another magazine.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'm not talking
Like-
about that. I'm talking about what's already in the home though. Unless you know where your pop
Well-
stash is,
Oh yeah, I knew.
you ain't.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Okay,
Unless you know where your
here's the
pop
thing.
stash is.
You're right.
Here's the thing, and I think I'll be honest. I think every kid out here knows where their parents' stash is.
Yeah, every dude knows. Every boy knows. Like,
Bro,
come on.
I had my dad's VHS tapes. That's how old I am. I'm
Hey,
dating
I
myself,
had his
bro.
DVDs. Listen, bro, I confiscated those motherfuckers. Like, he was like, "Where my shits go?" I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I confiscated those shits. Those were mine.
And they don't say nothing
I
because
hid
they
them
know they're
shit.
not supposed
You
to
know
have
what's
them
funny?
anyway, so they don't even
I
make a
hid them
fuss
shits
about it.
inside my Dreamcast, bro. I put them inside the
Wow.
Dreamcast. Yep.
Inside
Wow.
I was like, he would never look there. Never did.
Your mom walks into your room and is like, well, let me see
Oh,
what
guess
this
who found them?
game's
Guess
all
who found them,
about.
though? Guess who actually found them? My mom's. I don't know how.
Yep. Because she wanted to
But-
turn on the video game and see what you were so into. And she
Don't know
saw.
how.
she
Got 'em.
She was like, get these shits out of here. I was like, oh,
she saw
That shit crazy.
Backdoor Sluts 9.
listen, nah, it was some Brazilian something. Like,
Damn.
That's all I remember. That's all I remember. Like, what the fuck was it? Yo.
All right,
Oh,
so
Shit. All right, let's keep it.
what-
Let's not go
what
that
we got
direction.
next?
We can't go that. That's an X-rated podcast. Speaking of getting fucking hammered in the ass, though, Last of Us 2
Oh
remaster.
God,
Oh,
boy.
brother.
excellent.
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 This on the cusp of the announcement that Neil Druckmann is going to be given a Legends Award at the Game Awards because Jeff always feels the need to just get down on his knees whenever Neil Druckmann somewhere in the vicinity.
Yeah, they got to give him something.
Gotta give him
I can't- I
something.
can't go-
They
I
gotta
can't-
have him be
I
involved
can't-
in the show somehow.
I can't get 1 year without this motherfucker, bro. Just
know.
leave me alone.
That's your boy.
Just fuck him, bro. Like honestly, I would love to meet this guy for like 10 minutes because I want to judge how much of a douchebag he actually is. Like, is he really this vain? I
Oh, follow,
don't
wait,
know,
time out.
man.
I'm gonna let you go on your tangent because I know you got a lot to say about this. But first,
Don't really.
I wanted to say, like, isn't the Game Awards in LA?
Is it?
I believe so. Can you get a ticket?
Yeah.
Can you go rush the stage and fuck up Neil Druckmann? I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen,
Well,
guys. Don't worry about it.
No,
We're
no,
just
no,
joking
no,
here.
I'm
This
not-
is all
I'm not doing
satire.
that. I'm doing that. It's all satire. And honestly, I'm not interested in doing. Like, honestly, I would be. I mean, anyone else but him.
Yeah, right.
Anyone else, but like it's
Trying to
just
bring
like,
shame
man,
on Reformed Rabbi Priest
Nigga,
Bill
I'm
Clinton
trying
and
to
There's
meet
everything.
gotta be
Laura
other-
Wilder, whatever her name is. That's who I'm trying to meet.
Honestly,
Damn.
there's gotta be other legends ahead of him on the list that can receive awards though. Like I feel like they just want to announce something. Probably the
Oh, you mean-
remaster.
Let me look this up.
They
you
probably
mean The
leaked.
Last of Us 2 remastered that leaked. That
Meanwhile,
one?
Bloodborne fans out there are fucking holding their nuts.
Well,
but-
if
but
you were
like-
a real Bloodborne fan, you were already playing that shit.
Yeah, the
PS5,
guy.
60,
But like,
right?
but the thing is, like, there are video game legends out there that if Jeff really wanted to give the award to like legends in the field, like Shigeru Miyamoto won the award 1 year, right? Who else won the legend?
Kojima probably.
Kojima, I'm
right?
pretty sure won one, but yeah, I think Kojima's deserving of it. I'm actually gonna pull up legends winners. I'm gonna pull that up. But while
She's
that
34,
takes place,
She's not married. Yo, hold on. I might have to
Wait,
I might have to head up out of here real quick.
wait,
I might
wait,
have
wait,
to head
hold
over
up.
to the Game Awards so I can meet Devora Wild, bro. Because that woman
Oh.
is
Wait, she's
oh,
single?
okay.
probably.
So the winners
I'm
are
not seeing
so
any.
far Phil Spencer, Tim Schafer,
Okay.
Hideo
Okay,
Kojima, Jerry Lawson, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
I mean, to be fair, this is actually
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Reggie Fils-Aimé,
I mean,
Jade
I'm not gonna
Raymond,
discredit. That's dope.
Todd
I'm not gonna
Howard, and
discredit,
Richard Garrett. Yeah.
So to be fair, that's pretty much everyone you can think of. Like Neil Druckmann makes sense to be the next person to get it. Like he's contributed enough to, you know what I'm saying? Despite what I think about the guy, I'm not gonna discredit like the dude is responsible for like a lot of like the biggest games that we know right now. Like Uncharted,
the biggest re-releases of the biggest games that we know.
I mean, whether they're re-releases or not, it's still the game itself is still like, you know, a monumental game.
A lot of people like the game. A lot of people bought the game.
Series. Like it's not just a game anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna hate on his like his work, his accolades. I think he deserves it. Especially after all the names you just named, like it makes sense. Like.
Yeah.
No. For me, it's just more of a timing thing. It's like, bro, can I just go 1 year without hearing about this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially when so much good things is going out this year. Let the attention go to someone else.
Yeah, but
no, not. What do you mean?
Who else would get it this year? Like, that's why I said it kind of like makes sense. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I'd have to sit down and fucking think about it, but like, I'm sure there's someone else they could have gave it to.
I don't know. There's always going to be somebody else. Somebody else is going to get it next year and the year after that. But like, it makes sense. It makes sense.
But yeah. It's just for me, it's the timing thing. It's just kind of a little.
You just
got.
Like
this guy's Naughty Dog is literally in the face of everything every fucking year.
Bro, okay, here's what I feel, and it might be a little graphic. I just feel like we spent the last 2 years going down on him, and then we just gasped a breath, and then we're going right back down. And I just wanted a chance to breathe 2 or 3 times before I hear this motherfucker again.
Hey yo!
Since nothing is coming in the works.
Are you choking?
Yes. That's what I'm thinking. I'm being smothered.
Hey yo!
You know what I'm saying? So that's it really. I'm not taking anything off his accolades. Does he deserve it? Yes. But did they have to give him right now this year? No, not really. They could have given him next year when they actually. Last of Us game.
They can't suck him off any other way. So why not suck him off in this way? There's no other way. They have to fit him in somehow, right? Every time they got to fit him in some way.
Well, why every time?
Who knows?
I mean, if anyone deserved the dick sucking, isn't it Kojima? Kojima deserved
he already got it though.
Yeah, he got it when he deserved it when he was relevant. Right now,
he's definitely getting the symbiote sounds when
right now.
Kojima's definitely getting the symbiote sounds when what is it called? Death Stranding 2 comes out.
Yeah, but he already got his award. Like he's, and let's be real, Death Stranding wasn't like that.
Wait,
it wasn't that game.
Hold up. In that list, Miyamoto didn't get one?
He did. He was one of the
first ones?
Yeah, he was the first one.
Sorry.
If he wasn't the first one, he was one of the
If Miyamoto
first
wasn't
ones.
there, that would be like that award would mean absolutely nothing.
Oh wait, no, he's not listed here. But I don't know if this is the list of award winners.
He won
hold
something.
up. He definitely won it.
I remember him winning something.
No, for sure. He had to have won something. But like, if he didn't win that,
shout out to Reggie being there though. That's godlike.
But
Reggie deserved it
no
too,
offense.
though.
But if Miyamoto has not gotten it, he definitely should be in front of fucking Neil Druckmann. That's all.
Absolutely.
You know what?
I mean, awards like that are just filler. Like it's they gotta gobble somebody's nut. Like,
yeah, it just kills me that it like really this year had to be him of a year that like, you know, I don't know, man. Like it's just like I wouldn't mind the next year, the year after that, for the next 5 years, bro. But let me.
Yeah, there's so much going on outside of like
him
The
and
Last
Naughty
of Us
Dog.
and Naughty Dog. Yeah. I get what you mean, but
it would be nice that I didn't have to fucking see him every 2 seconds and like, oh my god, he's like, oh.
To be fair though, I got tired of hearing about Kojima every fucking year because there was a point in the Game Awards where it was just Kojima all over the place. I remember when fucking Metal Gear Solid 5, remember the Phantom Pain, they were teasing that shit. He had the bandage wrapped around his face, all that bullshit. We kept seeing him every single year. Like that got on my nerves. Like, so it's like,
but at the same time, that was part of his marketing thing.
Yeah, it was still corny. Like this, like,
I mean, but it worked.
That doesn't mean anything though. Like, the reason doesn't matter. Like, I still got tired of seeing him. Like,
well,
whether there's
you
a
got
good
tired of
reason for it or
Kojima.
not,
I'm tired of him.
Oh no, I'm tired of him too. I'm just saying, I'm
Yeah,
giving my point that
you're
the
being
award
devil,
exists to
you're
gobble
being
dick.
devil's advocate. Look.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying the award exists to gobble dick. Like, that's it.
And it would be nice if the Game Awards just didn't spend 1 year, because it just feels so biased and it just feels so illegitimate due to the year of how hard they sucked that dick's game. You know, the game's dick that year. That, like, you know what I mean? Like,
there's always that one person, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like they just need to step away from him so that way they can establish better.
No, I think that award needs to go somewhere. I don't think that award needs to even be a thing. Like, they can give what they need to do. Then that shit needs to be restructured. They need to, like, because eventually there's gonna be no person left to fucking give that award to. So every year it should just be what developer that year or what person that year did something, not fucking 80 years ago. Like, fucking what's his name? What, The Last of Us 2 came out when? 3 years ago? Like, come on.
Almost 4 years ago.
So like Metal Gear Solid 5, I think he got that award like way after. I think Kojima got that award way after he was relevant, right? So it's like, that award should just be like a reset every year. It should just be whoever was relevant that year should get it. So that award needs to be restructured. I don't like that award at all.
I agree, and here's why. Hey Freak, I'm hearing myself on your end.
Sorry.
And here's why is that it'll help the audience and the general public know who these new people are. You know what I'm saying? So they could become new names, because we've lost sight of like who's responsible for making these games and who's the lead and who's like, you know what I mean? There's very few of those nowadays, and there are people making incredible games who deserve that kind of recognition, and maybe
we're kind
that
of
would
super
help.
detached from lately.
True.
Well, I don't want to say we're detached, but lately, I remember back in the day, I used to know the head developer of like any game that I liked. I used to know who it was. I used to know their name, but this was before social media. So obviously I was like, you know, doing research and all other shit. I was like, damn, I love this game. I wonder who made it. Like Tetsuya Nomura, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking, what's the dude's fucking Yoshi P, all these guys. Like, you end up knowing who they are just because, like, you know, you're like, oh shit, this guy's directing this next game. I gotta play because, you know, I liked his last game or whatever. So nowadays it just feels like there's so much going on. There's like so much like marketing behind shit. There's so much like fluff in terms of like gaming that you don't even know who the fucking developers are most of the time.
Exactly.
Like, so we're like, I feel like the more, and you would think it would be less of that because we have social media now, and a lot of these people have like, you know, social media accounts and all that shit. But like, for me, I feel way more detached than I was years ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because there's so much money, so many people.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. So shout outs to him. I just didn't want to hear about him this year. That's all.
It would help if he didn't look like a fucking asshole.
Right? Like so full of himself.
He gives off that douchebag aura.
that whole year, what they were giving him awards, you remember how it was presented where it was him and then there was like a girl behind the glass or some bullshit like that. Yeah. And it was just like, dude, that year was so shady in terms of it. It just killed everything. Like, even if he was legitimate, which he is, but like it just did not leave a good impression in like my soul. You know what I'm saying? And so for me to hear him, like, and if he hears this somehow, I don't know, and he's like, you know, this fucking look. I'm just saying, it just made you look like in a really bad light, bro.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying?
Care.
And
like,
yeah, but at the same time, it's just like it means you look like in a really bad light and just so fucking full of yourself. I get you want your fucking flowers, but goddamn, bro, just chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm done.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm trying to look for like a comprehensive. They really need like a Game Awards like website. I don't know if there is one out there with the full list of winners for specific categories, like a database, would be nice. But yeah, because I'm trying to see like who is won this like Legends Award or Icon, Industry Icon, and just like kind of determine like who is out there that has won it and who would be next in line. Honestly, think it just kind of like rolls into like when Death Stranding, like when Kojima won it, Death Stranding was out already, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that
like,
game
and Death Stranding didn't really win anything. Yeah,
that wasn't like his
so I think it was just a way to give Kojima like flowers, post a Konami thing. Remember? I think like I think every time the Icons Award has been out, it's been some kind of I don't want to say gaming political, issue, but it's just like something that they can highlight, that they want to choose to highlight, right? Like, so for example, Kojima, right? Like wasn't Reggie retiring that year, so they just like gave it to him, or he retired the year before or something like that. Like it was something where it was like he's now gone, and they gave it to Reggie, they gave it to Kojima, they gave it to, I think, Phil Spencer, I think, one year. Like it's like the like the selection of people. The Game Awards have only been out since what, 2018?
Good
Way
question.
before that.
It's been out
Game
before
Awards,
that,
right,
right?
guys?
Yeah, the Game Awards.
Game Awards has been out for like fucking 10 years.
Yeah, right. Like, so
Like
Yeah.
2014? Like 2014?
they only have
Been a
list
long
of winners since 2018. So like, what? Like they really need like a database that
It's
has all
because
this
that was
stuff.
the restructure. Like that was when they actually like started. It was like a
Yeah, since 2014.
because they had the thing before that, which was
God,
like I
they're
think it was on
approaching.
Spike or something like that.
They're
It was
approaching
on
a
like Spike
decade.
TV, and it wasn't really like it was more like a it was just a bunch of ads. Like it just existed. You know, remember that was back in the day when they were trying to make it super mainstream.
Yeah.
They had hella like corny shit going on. 2017, I think 2018 was the year. Like Jeff was like, "All right, this is gonna be like the Game Awards. This is gonna be. They're gonna.
It's gonna be
restructure
like
it.
an
It's gonna be about
actual award
games."
show. Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Because before that, it was just bullshit.
Yeah. But
Spike TV's Game Awards. That shit was trash.
So, yeah, those were ass. Those Game Awards were absolute garbage, and they were cringy. They had like celebrity hosts. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they have Jack Black host it one year?
I don't remember. It was.
I
just remember
Jack
it
Black was on
trash.
there somewhere. Jack Black was on there because he was promoting Brutal Legend.
probably a game.
That was when like Madden and all the other shit was winning like Game of the Year. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Oh no.
Yeah. But in any case, yeah, man, new Naughty
Fucking
Dog
Madden.
remastered game. If you're gonna get it, I'm not. But for those of you who enjoy it, there's
I mean,
better
hey,
graphics
if you
here.
got it, it's $10 for the upgrade. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a next generation upgrade, which is like cool. Call it that. Like they're calling it a remaster for like sales or whatever, but it's a next gen upgrade. It is the Cyberpunk next gen upgrade. It is what like everyone is wanting
It's
for
definitely
like
not the PC upgrade.
Right?
That's the next year's release. They're gonna do The Last of Us Part 2 on PC. Bro, like
Maybe
you're getting ahead of
he's gonna
yourself.
he's gonna get another award next year. Let's
He's gonna get
go.
another award.
I'm just gonna be haunted to the end of time with this
Yeah.
series.
I'm telling you, man, you're just gonna have to replay it at some point,
Oh.
dude.
So for those of you who don't know, by the way, there is a very well documented experience of my experience with the game on stream. So
She was excellent.
yeah. If you want to know my deep thoughts and struggles and tears,
Just know this game
check
sucks.
that out.
Onto a game that doesn't suck, and it's sad to get this update about. Apparently, the Knights of the Old Republic remake is not being worked on at the moment. It's not canceled.
No, it's done.
That shit's
it's-
canceled.
It's done.
considered dead because it's
done.
not actively being worked on. But at the same
Look.
time, when did they announce it? They announced it like 2 years ago.
I think so.
Way long ago,
I don't
and then there's been development hell. Like they've been changing studios here
That
and
shit don't
there,
exist.
and then yeah, it don't exist. It don't exist. I guess they tried out the build. It didn't work. They didn't trust the original team. The original team probably had the best chance of doing it, and then they were just trying to pretend like, oh yeah, we're still working on it when they weren't. It's been dead for a while. It's dead. It's dead, and I'm unhappy. I'm not happy. And yeah, I'm really sad because it's a very special game.
Yep.
And it sucks that, especially when fans don't have the greatest faith in Star Wars, that would have been the perfect game to get people hope again. And now, there's no hope. The dark side won, y'all. So
The dark side one. Ugh, it's tough, man. Like,
If there's one game that this like in this moment in time that was deserving of a fucking remake, especially after the success of fucking Baldur's Gate, it was that game. Because I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for that game, we wouldn't have no fucking Baldur's Gate. If it wasn't for that game, and if it wasn't for Dragon Age and fucking Jade Empire, all those old BioWare games, we would not have fucking Baldur's Gate 3. So the thing that's really fucking ridiculous to me is that not only that, right? We had the news that they let the BioWare guys, they were laying off some of the BioWare guys that were previously the guys that were working at fucking on Baldur's Gate and shit like that. Like what are they doing? Like they literally have the fucking Master Emerald like in their fucking shit. Like it's right there. All they gotta do is just use the shit. You know what I mean? Like they had the motherfuckers. They have the formula. But clearly, like it works. Clearly people want it because people love Baldur's Gate 3. It's about to get Game of the Year, right? So how stupid can you be and how out of touch can you be to first off let those guys go? Second of all, cancel fucking KOTOR. And then what was the other shit? Mass Effect. We're not gonna see the Mass Effect game till like
we're not seeing that shit for
Oh
till
my
like
God,
2025
bro.
apparently,
Dragon
right?
Age 4, Dragon Age
2029.
Dragon Age 4 looks like it's nowhere near complete. Like, so what is going on? I feel like they have this. Like,
So-
whatever.
Yeah,
Crazy.
so they go through this whole thing to build a teaser, be like, hey man, we're still working on the game, and then a report drops by that, and then not only that, but after that trailer dropped, they dropped a report where they were letting down hella BioWare employees or whatever, and the Dragon Age thing is not going well at all. So like I know this in the back of my mind, so I'm like, how is this game even gonna come out or be shown or anything like that? And then there's a report like, oh yeah, Mass Effect won't be ready till 2029. So why the fuck would you tease me with that? Knowing
So that 2029 thing, let's take that with a grain of salt, right? Because that doesn't make any fucking sense. 2029, you know how long ago, you know how long from now that is?
basically
That
the
makes
game is
zero
dead
sense.
is what you're telling me. Is
Yeah.
That
basically
makes
what you're telling me.
zero sense.
That makes zero sense,
2029, just
That
like,
means
I'm sorry,
that means
like,
they
I don't
haven't
believe
worked
that.
on it at all.
I don't believe that.
And it's
I don't
starting
believe that in
production
the slightest.
now.
Because we got a trailer a couple years ago and they just showed a tease. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense for a game that they just teased again for the second time to come out in 2029. It doesn't make any sense.
But
Someone,
at the same
that article's
time,
probably bullshit. Like it can't be real.
yeah, but
I
at the
think-
same time, that article of BioWare people being let go, that is not a good sign.
Well, I think
that-
it's
yeah,
going
I
on.
think
yeah.
it's the Cyberpunk thing. I think they announced the game and no one was actually working on it. And then now they decided they're going to announce a teaser and production is probably going to start on it now, which means, yeah,
That doesn't mean that it's coming out in 2029.
that shit ain't coming out
like
ever.
that doesn't make any
Well-
sense. That means at worst it'll come out in 2 years, not 2029. That doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. That's 6 years from like no.
I don't know.
Like nah. They don't have
Yeah,
the
but it-
luxury of being able to do that, especially now that fucking there's going to be a zeitgeist of these types of RPGs again because of Baldur's Gate. So it's like you have the ball in your court. You have this formula. You have 3-4 series that are basically Baldur's Gate, right? You got KOTOR, you got Jade Empire, which for some reason they just abandoned. That shit needs a remaster or re something. They have Mass Effect and they have
And
Dragon Age.
These are all
right?
games
That's
made
4
by
series.
BioWare, right?
Yes, that's 4 series that they have in the stable, right? That
Yeah.
2 of which are supposed to be coming out. They announced Dragon Age 4. They announced new Mass Effect. So, and then let's see, right? Let's I guess subtract KOTOR now because that shit's dead. But like, you have this shit. I just don't understand what's going on in the heads of these guys at EA. Because if I was at EA right now, right now in this specific moment, after seeing Baldur's Gate, I'd be like, all right, let's toss some money at BioWare. Let's capitalize off of this movement that's about to happen next year.
You
right?
also gotta
Like, are
think
you kidding me?
how many of the
Like-
people that are at BioWare are those that have been part of the team the entire time at this point, right? Like it's
Not
probably
anymore.
not even the same
But it's not
people
many,
at all.
But that doesn't mean that the game isn't there. Like, I
No,
mean, it doesn't
that's
matter
true.
if it's new people or old people working on it at all. It doesn't matter. Like, the game is, you still have the IP. Whether it's new people working on it or not, you have the IP. You have the games that can compete with this new game that is taking the world by storm, right? You have these games. Bruh, Baldur's Gate is literally inspired by all of those games I just named. Like, what? Like, they have these games. Why? Like, why are you shitting on them? Why would you make BioWare make fucking Anthem of all fucking games? What are you doing? Like,
My
and
God.
that shit hits me
Anthem.
like fucking. That shit hits me like personally, because Mass Effect, to me, like Mass Effect and Dragon Age specifically, KOTOR and Jade Empire to a certain extent, but Mass Effect and Dragon Age hit me at a specific time where I felt like I needed those games, right? Mass Effect, that series was amazing, and then they fucked it up with Andromeda, right? And then after fucking it up, they make those motherfuckers go work on Anthem? Man, get the fuck up out of here, bro. Like, EA, I don't know what. Then again, you know, EA always on some bullshit, but like, right now, it seems like EA, it looked like EA had, like, you know, their head screwed back on. Now Ubisoft are the questionable ones, right? So it's like, I'm gonna keep saying it. You had these games. Obviously, they had no faith in them, right? They obviously had no faith in those fucking series. But it's like, what else does EA have besides the sports games, right? What does EA have? Battlefield is fucking shit right now, right? The majority of their other games don't even exist. So, but yeah, they have the Star Wars stuff, but actually, that's another point. They have what is it? The Fallen Order stuff. They have that series, which people love, right? Despite how well the newest one did, or how bad it was, whatever. They have all these Star Wars games. They have Battlefront that did well, like eventually, right?
Well, it also has the potential to do really well if it's well made.
So they have this Star Wars IP. They have all this shit. It's like they're just they're getting tossed all these W's and they're just spitting out L's. Like, I don't like what are you doing with all this shit, all these IPs you have? Oh man. And then it's like EA will put out something and it'll fail slightly, right? Like just a little bit, and then they'll be like, all right, trash it, never making them again. Like,
Dump
what
it.
happened to SSX? What happened to all the NBA Street games? What happened to all this other shit that EA used to make? Mirror's Edge, all this other shit. They underperform slightly, and they're just canned for the rest of their fucking existence. What? Keep in mind, the last SSX game did hella good, but we're never gonna see that again because EA is just a shell of their former selves. But back to Star Wars, like, I feel like that would have been the perfect game to launch around this time. Like,
yes, it would have been.
We have these RPGs are just back, like, in full effect, right? And they have some of the best ones, but they don't want to fucking unleash them onto the fucking world because they're just,
and like,
I don't know.
Like, if I was EA, bro, like, if you don't even trust BioWare to do it right, let's just say for argument's sake, like, you don't trust them. Fucking loan the shit out to Larian Studios. Let them make KOTOR.
Yeah, that's not.
Imagine a
I
KOTOR remake by Larian.
Yeah, Larian.
No, they shouldn't.
No,
they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
If it was pre Baldur's Gate 3, maybe, but I don't think Larian would have ever done. Thank God.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. But in any case, man, it's just a shame because I really have a lot of deep memories of this game. This game deepened my love for Star Wars too, by the way. And now it's just like, man, there's just like no hope in that IP. There's no hope in the movies. There's no hope in any of this shit. And
Can't believe these guys
man,
are sitting on Jade Empire. Can't believe it.
They're sitting on a gold mine.
Do you know how dope a modern Jade Empire would be? What?
I love
with the amount of depth that game had. That game was crazy. You know, everybody loves that shit, right? That would have been the craziest modern fucking.
Who doesn't like Kung Fu?
Bro, I don't understand how Jade Empire of all the games. I don't know how they haven't revisited that.
Yeah.
They could just turn that shit into an action game and it would be phenomenal. Hello?
Yeah.
I know people would be like, I don't want it to be an RPG, but that was like one of the coolest parts, being able to learn like the different classes, multi-classing, all that shit. That shit was cool. Like,
bro, I mean, that's why I still play like what is it, the street True Streets or whatever, that
True Crime
one. True Crime.
Oh
And then
God.
Also Sifu
it
gave me
True
that
Streets?
like Kung Fu itch
True Streets.
that I wanted, bro. I mean, look, people. Well,
True
it was
Crime,
originally
Streets
supposed
of
to be
LA.
like a yeah, it was originally supposed to be like a sequel.
Streets of LA.
But
And then they
but
killed
yeah.
that too because the Streets of New York was trash. Rip.
Yeah. Bro.
Like a lot of
Yeah,
devs are
it's
taking a lot of chances on bullshit rather than actually making like some
Not
games that
taking
they
chances at
already
all.
have.
They're
bro.
just cycling out the same bullshit until it dies. Like,
Mhm.
how do you kill
Mhm.
Battlefield? How do you kill your main shit? Like, what do you care about? What does EA care about right now? I'm trying to understand what games is EA caring about right now.
Yep. Yo, so you remember the
The
time,
Sims.
the time where Battlefield was like free to play for everything on I don't know, was it like Epic or whatever, and it was like a big deal, like literally hell
you mean
of
Battlefront?
people. Battlefront, yeah.
Talking about
Battlefront. Yeah, Battlefront 2, where it's just like, I mean, even Battlefield people would mess with if it was, you know, good.
Nah, I mean, the problem is like, Battlefield was good, right? It was always good, right? And then first, I don't know what happened. Like, how do you make it? Like, it's a first-person shooter, right? It's personally like the Battlefield 4 formula, right? Even Battlefield 5 to an extent. Like, how do you fuck that up? That's why I keep saying, like, EA has the formulas for all this shit. How do you fuck it up? Like, it's already given to you. You already know what the people like
Where
about
there's
the
a
game.
will, there's a way.
Like, very true. Like, so it's like you have Star Wars shit. You have a Baldur's Gate 3 right in your fucking stable. How you fuck it up? Where is it? Like, it's just so crazy to see Baldur's Gate 3 succeed, right? As EA lays off BioWare members. That's crazy to me. Like,
That's actually one of the most outrageous things to happen. Which literally like within the same week you have articles outlining Baldur's Gate 3 success, BioWare employees getting laid off. Like, it's like, what?
Like, that's crazy.
Are they salty because it wasn't BioWare that did?
Probably, right? Y'all couldn't make this game.
Y'all couldn't
Get the
make
fuck outta
this.
here.
Larian did,
Like,
and this
damn,
is
there's
your
some
former
motherfuckers who let an indie
property.
studio make this shit. Get out, right? Like,
That's kind of crazy.
Well, anyway, rest in peace to one of my favorite games in gaming history, and
Seriously, man.
I have
man,
a feeling we might see
we're in the dark
Dragon Age.
days.
We might see Dragon. We're gonna. So here's the thing, right? I personally think that 2029 thing is bullshit. I have a feeling we're probably gonna see either Mass Effect or Dragon Age in some form at this Game Awards. So we'll see.
We'll see, I guess, but
Okay.
yeah, we'll see. But if not, but if we don't see those things at the Game Awards, what then?
And I expect to, like, look, let's be real, like, out of all the games that we're anticipating and out of all the games that we think are coming out soon, those aren't at the top of the list. Like, we know, like it's not like a GTA where we know Rockstar's not full of shit, right? We know they're gonna announce the game at the Game Awards and it's gonna come out next year or early 2025. EA is not that consistent. EA is not. I don't have faith in EA as much as I have in like a Rockstar. So if I don't see it at the Game Awards, I won't be surprised at all. I'm just expecting to see it. Like, I would not be surprised if it's not there at all.
Right. Well,
Fuck
what's
them
next
for
for you?
canceling KOTOR though. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. Fuck you guys.
Well-
I don't understand, man.
Yeah, I think it's just such a weird move to make. It's like so no one was. It sounds to me like no one was working on this
Probably
at
not.
all, and they
I mean,
were
the
just
teaser
like,
the teaser trailer was nothing. It was literally nothing. So you're probably right.
it's just such a weird decision, right? Like the teaser trailer was literally nothing. It was a full on like Ravon. They just showed like, oh, let's show Ravon because like Star Wars nerds love Ravon. It'll get people worked up, and it absolutely did. And it was just kind of like, well, after that, they probably just didn't work on it, and it was probably a lot of shifting back and forth between directions where it was gonna go, and then that's it. It just got dropped because it just wasn't working. And that's the thing. We may see it at some point in the future. It's just not gonna be anytime soon. 4 years minimum, right? Like, because it takes like 4 years to develop a game,
Right?
right?
If it's not
Like,
come out right, then it'd be trash. So
yeah, no, absolutely, right? Like it's that fucking old adage where it's just like a rush game is bad forever. A delayed game at least has, you know, yeah. Shout out to Miyamoto. A delayed game has like at least hope to be good, right? Like, I don't understand what. I guess the higher ups, because it's the higher ups that rush games out. right? Like I don't understand. Like are they only thinking about money? But it's like
Yes.
What the fuck?
I understand that they're only thinking
course.
about money, but you gotta understand that like if you release a game and it's shit, you're not gonna get as many sales as if you delayed it.
Yeah, because from the publisher standpoint, I'm just gonna go out on a fucking limb because I don't know. I don't.
Like, cause like
Fucking
you lose
working this
money.
shit, right?
I get it. You lose money
But-
because you have to keep people paying people for working on the game. So in your eyes, you're losing money. But ultimately, like it's going to be if they work on it and put in the time, it could potentially be like a good game, and you're
Potential is
going to
not
get that money.
The same potential is not this like any game.
Yeah.
Potential. There's thousands of fucking games that are released that we know nothing about that are probably great. We know nothing about.
And Baldur's
So-
Gate is probably like the worst example because I think it's more of like the exception as opposed to the rule. Because that's like a game that, yes, it released in early access. Yes, it got worked on. Yes, they paid their staff.
I don't want to say that people are giving too much credit. Like the game, obviously, that deserves all the fucking accolades. I love it. It's the game of the year. But people are kind of underestimating like word of mouth and like hearing about like
That's
let's
what
be
I
real.
like. Yeah.
Persona 5
Mhm.
Persona 5 succeeded purely because of all like you couldn't play Persona 4. Persona 4 was trapped on like the PS2. Yeah, it came out on the Vita, but nobody got a Vita, right? But Persona 4 was that one RPG that everyone spoke about. Even I did it. I was like, yeah, you didn't play Persona 4? You crazy. Like I would say that shit to my friends all the time. And it was always that game that like you always heard about. It was always word of mouth, but you just couldn't play, right? Or you didn't want to get a PS2 to play. You didn't want to dig out a goddamn PS2 to play. You didn't want to get a Vita to play it. So when Persona 5 came out, it was like the perfect storm, right? Everyone knew what Persona was already. They just didn't have a chance to play it. And now they have this chance to play it. And not only do they have the chance to play it, it's godlike, right? So Baldur's Gate has been a series, like I say it all the time, Baldur's Gate has been a series that I've always been interested in playing, but I always just missed out on it. Like, since like the PS, was it the PS2, I think? Aren't those games old as fuck? Like
PS2, I think even before that, Baldur's Gate 1 came out. Like, I don't even remember. I think it was on PC. But to your point, you mentioned something that I just really want to bring up, like word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
Like publishers, and I think to a certain amount, devs don't really factor in word of mouth, and it's like not that they should, because word of mouth is always that potential. It's a wild card, right? Like it's whether or not something that you post goes viral kind of thing, right? Or you can't count on it, but it goes a long way if you release a quality product. Because it also goes
before all this social media shit too.
It also goes a long way when you release a fucking shitty product. Because if you release a game that is absolute fucking garbage, it doesn't matter how hyped people were about it. The people who spent their money on it are instantly going to post, "Don't buy this shit," and then sales are going to drop.
I'm not a publisher, so I don't know who's hands-on and who's not. But I do feel like the majority of the time, the publishers, they give you the money, they tell you what the budget is, and then they just go fuck off. I don't think they know if the game is dead. They think they're just assuming that the devs are gonna fucking make a good game. I don't think the publishers give a fuck. They just give you the budget, they give you the money. But like I said, I'm not a publisher. I don't necessarily know. But I am sure that there are publishers that are more hands-on with like following the direction of their game, like knowing if it's gonna be a quality product or not. And then you had the publishers that probably just don't give a fuck. They just want to give you the budget. Boom. Are we gonna make more money than we fucking spend on it? And that's all that matters. Like, but that's business, right? Like some people just don't give a fuck, but you can tell the difference between the ones that don't give a fuck and the ones that do. Because the ones that do care, we end up getting quality products from. So
I think that word of mouth was a strong factor in Baldur's Gate, because once that game actually released and it started picking up, everyone started talking about it. And they were like, this game is actually crazy.
And it took until Persona 5 for that whole series to just blow the fuck up, because everyone already knew. Most people already knew what Persona was. They just never played it.
Yeah.
Like, and then boom, that's it. That's like Elden Ring, right? Elden Ring comes out. All the people that have never played a Souls game played that game. They were like, yeah, I never gotten the Dark Souls. Blah blah blah. I always heard it was this. I always heard it was that. I never got into Sekiro. Blah blah blah. I always heard it was hard. And then Elden Ring finally comes out. It looks like it's more up people's alleys, slightly easier, right? Yeah. Obviously, people still got fucked up, but like
people definitely got fucked. They thought it was gonna be easier.
Yeah, all the people that were on the fence playing Souls and shit. Went and played that. Word of mouth, right? That's what happened. Because I don't want to say Dark Souls was under the radar. It absolutely was not. But Elden Ring blew that shit up. Like Elden Ring blew that shit sky high. Like,
yeah, after Demon Souls, Dark Souls was on the map for hardcore gamers for sure, right? And then
for hardcore gamers,
it just gradually kind of grew into the gaming sphere where it's like, yeah, this is a hard game, but if you really want like a really worthwhile experience, yeah.
Elden Ring made FromSoft Studios like their household names now.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee if it wasn't for Elden Ring, like, don't get me wrong, Armored Core is a godlike game in its own merit. But if it wasn't for Elden Ring and that FromSoft name, I don't think Armored Core would have done as well as it did.
Yeah, I don't think it would have sold as much. Absolutely. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. Spot on with that. I think winning that game award too, went like, yeah, definitely put them in the main spotlight for that. Because Armored Core is very niche, and I think like it's such a change from the Dark Souls series. Like if their next game was a Dark Souls game, it would have it wouldn't have mattered. But the fact that it was they went with that Armored Core, and it could have been absolute garbage, but it would have still sold well, right?
They were like George R.R. Martin. Oh shit, I know that guy. And this is right off the heels of like, Game of Thrones popularity and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
So despite what you think of the last season, like Game of Thrones is super popular now. So when you hear that name, people are like, oh shit, right? So
yo, you know why I'm groaning is because I read a report that J.R.R. Martin is like, I thought of like 7 spin-offs to Game of Thrones. I was like, yeah, when are you gonna finish that book though?
Listen, yeah, not for nothing. Guy is definitely a genius because apparently he came up to the lore for Elden Ring and like literally like within 2 months of like meetings. Yeah, but like he was just like they met, they needed to come up with this. He came up with it like. And then the next month,
like he went into a dark hole and he came back.
He came back and had the whole lore drawn out. It was crazy.
They showed him walking. There was a meme that the fucking portals in Elden Ring, the little fucking purple portals. They were like there was like a meme like FromSoft was like, all right, develop the lore. He walked off and just disappeared, went into the portals, and then he got fucking teleported into Caelid.
Yeah.
He was like, I see, and then he came back with the Elden Ring lore.
He gave them the lore and they made the game, bro. Like that was it.
No, he's a visionary. Like I'm not taking anything from him, but if you guys are expecting that last book, ain't never being done, bro.
Yeah, right.
He got his money. He GG's. He done.
Good. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's one of those things where you don't want a last book because maybe it'll just be fucked up and fucking.
Well, I mean, he technically told them the ending, so if it's basically going to reflect the ending that we got, then
it's one of those things that's better off just not coming out. You know what I mean? Like,
but when people were like, "This is garbage," he was just like, "My shit's actually gonna be better." He was like, "Yeah."
I mean, it better be better, but
I would rather. That's like Game of Thrones. I would have rather the last season of Game of Thrones just not come out and just me being left curious, than have my whole perception of the shit ruined. Like.
Man, you know what the feeling of the last season of Game of Thrones feels like? It feels like say I'm a tier 3 sub to a wonderful streamer, right? And then like I'm like, oh yeah, maybe one day she'll want to be in a relationship with me. And so we go through the whole 9 yards, right? Spend all my money, spend all my savings. I go in, yeah, I'm gonna get some, blah, blah, blah. And then it's the lamest shit I forgot in my life.
Or you get invited over and you're like, this is my chance, and then her boyfriend comes out from the fucking room. It's like, oh shit,
no, because I think the worst thing is actually getting what you want and then realizing that it's shit.
Damn.
Versus never being able to get it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just a shame. All accounts, but maybe there's hope somewhere, but I'm not seeing it in terms of KOTOR. So
nope. Rest in peace. It was nice to dream. It was nice thinking in my head what a KOTOR fucking make looked like.
Oh man, imagine if we made 1 and 2, because 2 is great too.
I think it would have been a combination.
Yeah, probably combination. Probably, yeah.
It would have been 1 and 2. I think why not? Like why? Because how long are these games? Right? Like they're not
that long.
They're like 8-hour RPGs.
They're about 8 hours. 20. Hell nah. What the fuck? Maybe about 20, 30. Like
20, like 20.
you can get if you get super into it, it'd be like 30, 40. But like it's like Mass Effect, right?
Yeah, you
Mass
could put like
Effect, Mass Effect, you can beat in like 25 hours.
Baldur's Gate.
Like everything is hella.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate is like 100 hours, right?
Yeah, but you can beat Baldur's Gate in 30.
Yeah, that's true. So that's what I mean. Like if they would have made it, they do a double and they just make it like a 40-hour, 40-hour. They could have made a 40-hour game, but like honestly, if you want to do more, you can get a 60 to 100 hours out of it. That would have been solid, right? Like KOTOR 1 and 2 remake. I was looking forward to it because everyone's just like, just wait for the remake, man.
Yeah,
once they announced it,
I was like, well, freak, you got time to play the original.
That's true.
And to be honest, man, I don't like saying to wait because there's a certain charm the originals have.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Old. Like
For sure.
BioWare's games kind of lost that charm as like they started going more like action heavy into their games. Like those games, Dragon Age 1, Mass Effect 1, and like their older shit have like this charm to it. They can't replicate.
Yeah, they do. I just feel like the gameplay is just a little dated, contemporary. Like but yeah, I enjoyed it when
it's Baldur's Gate.
and yeah, there's tons of charm.
It's like it also depends on like how much you got, like how much time you got, right? How dated is the game? How much time you have before the next one comes out? It's a very kind of touchy area where it's like, should you play the remake or just wait for the new one? Because if the old one is super jank, right? Like if it's like super jank and way outdated, and the new one is announced and it's coming out like 2 years, then wait, right?
2 years, nah. If it was coming out in like 6 months or something like that, yeah. But you still like owe it to your lady. That's like FF7, right? Like people that, or at least play it afterwards. I get.
Yeah.
Like it's like
depending
FF7
on
remake, right? Like I would still say like you kind of messed up if you didn't play the original and you just went straight into 7 remake. But I mean, I know that's the point to get people into it.
I feel like that's a bad example though.
I don't know.
Because
we don't know how 101's KOTOR would have been to the original.
That's true too. I think as far as remakes go, like if we're under the assumption, like let's use Resident Evil 4 remake as an example, right? Because that's probably better because that's more like there's like little changes here and there, but it's mostly 1-to-1, right? And I think like when it's something like that, it's like, yeah, man, play the original if it's coming out, if you have time, right? But like it's like part of playing these games when you grew up is that nostalgia factor too, right? Like because that shit hits. Mass Effect hits for y'all, right?
Absolutely.
And to a cultured gamer like myself, I take that into consideration, and that has a factor in my playthrough of it. Whereas the normie casual gamer is gonna play through like Resident Evil 4 and be like, man, this shit sucks. Why do people like it? And then play the remake. You know what I mean?
I thought he died.
Wait, hold on. Repeat what you just said because I guess
you faded out.
For a sec. Yeah.
No, it's like as far as like a cultured gamer versus like a casual gamer. Like if you're telling them to play a remake, where it's like someone could take into that consideration that nostalgia factor, where it's like, man, if I had played this game when it came out, I would definitely have felt a certain way. Versus this game sucks, it's old, I don't like it, and then you play the remake and you're like, oh, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like it's
there's a certain
lot of
spirit
factors
that
in it,
older games kind of like capture, like
because there's probably a lot of people who don't like Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, right? Like because of the gameplay and shit like that. But it's like
I wouldn't say so because the thing about the gameplay, it's literally the same. They just tuned it up a little bit so it's not as trash. Like they're still the same game.
Yeah, and that's more of the case of a remaster than a remake. Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like
KOTOR would have been drastically different.
Oh, absolutely.
I would have told people to play the original because it would not have been the same as the original. Sorry, like it would have been way more action focused. It would have been more like what they did to like Mass Effect. It would have been more like what they did when they went from Dragon Age 1 to Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. They were a completely different game. Like Dragon Age 1 is more like RPG, more like Baldur's Gate, right? And then after that, they made it a complete action RPG or whatever. So like that's what I felt like KOTOR would have done. So that's why I said like you should still play it. Whether it's before or after, it doesn't matter.
And then there's the whole thing of whether or not they use the same story beats.
Yeah, I personally feel like if I had never played either, and I played KOTOR remaster, I wouldn't want to go back to the old one. That's just me because
Yeah,
I'm very
no,
like
I agree.
I don't want to see the jank after playing the peak version, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I would watch it. I'd probably watch like a playthrough or something like that beforehand, and then do that shit. At least know what it was like. Because KOTOR, don't get me wrong, that shit was some jank. Like,
No, it definitely was
BioWare
jank,
games
but
were
it was
jank.
good jank. It was good.
Yeah,
absolutely,
It was good
BioWare games were jank up until Mass Effect 2. I mean, even that shit had jank, but like,
jank. No, they all have jank.
Could you imagine someone playing RE4, the original, before the remake and thinking it was trash because they had never played it when they were growing up?
yeah,
Oh.
but that's different. I don't know. RE4,
feel like that-
RE4 was not trash.
It
That's
was
a bad
not.
example because RE4 just wasn't. It
No,
wasn't.
it wasn't trash. But like, they're definitely youth. That
There are
would
some
play the
things you could say
game.
about KOTOR, and you could definitely convince somebody that KOTOR was trash. Like if you took, there's some shit I could show about that game, like control wise, like glitch wise, like just straight up bullshit, and I could convince you that game is garbage. But we all know it's not.
Yeah.
But shit, in Mass Effect 1, listen, you could fool me into thinking that game is hot garbage. If I didn't play it and somebody showed me that game, I'd be like, what the fuck is this fucking trash? Like, so I don't know.
Exactly.
But Mass Effect 2, you couldn't convince me that game garbage.
You know, it's a
Just
super
looking at that game.
interesting thing, actually, when you think about it. It was something that was brought to my attention when Spider-Man 2 came out. It's like, do you remember what your first game was?
Yes.
Right? Like, okay, so when you think about your first game and the first game you played, right? Think about all the kids where Spider-Man 2 is literally going to be the first game that they play.
Yeah.
And they grow up in this new generation of gaming where Spider-Man 2 is the first game you play. It's probably the peak of like single player action adventure experiences. Like it's super.
That's
like
not bad.
it,
I mean, that's the same as our.
but
That's
the
the
thing
same as
is,
mine.
what fucking luck these kids have though, bro.
I don't think that's. I don't think it's luck at all. It's just a different time.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just it's
Spider-Man
growing up,
to
right?
them is our like Super Mario World or whatever your first game was. Like Super Mario World was a fucking amazing game. Like,
but at the same time, like new kids playing Spider-Man 2 for the first time, they're not gonna even really be able to appreciate everything that's going on about that game just from like.
Could you say the same
You
thing
know,
about
yeah,
the
but they
games
don't
that we
have to,
played
though.
when we were younger? Do we appreciate
Oh,
those
Mario?
games?
Yeah,
right?
Mario.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Right?
they don't have
true,
to
right? It's
appreciate
true.
the shit. Like,
It's an interesting thing to
that game
think
is going to
about.
be God. To them, that game is going to be the most like amazing experience to them, and that's fine. Like, it's just a different time. That's literally all it is. The only difference is time. Like, because to me, growing up, my first game was Sonic 2, right? And to me,
God.
that was the best game of all time. Like
That
Sonic
game-
2, the first few games I played was
boy.
Sonic 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Super Mario World, right? Those are my favorite games. And I'm sure at that time, to the older people, they were probably like, man, if you're imagine this kid's first game is gonna be Super Mario World. Man, I was playing fucking Pong and blah 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 and all that shit, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so it's the same shit. It's just
Bro, why
different
you
generations.
trying why you trying to out me?
Yeah,
My-
like, am I wrong though? Like think about it.
The
The first
first-
Mario game.
No,
Super Mario
technically
World
my
wasn't the
first one was
Mario
Super
game.
Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
And
Super Mario World wasn't the
Brothers
first Mario
one.
game, right? But to me,
No.
it was. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
so
My
totally
first game
different.
that I owned, the first game that was mine, that I could say it was mine, was Sonic 2. Because that was
Yeah.
when I first got a Sega Genesis 2, which was mine. And that was my first game. It was the bundle, the Sega Genesis 2 bundle. But the first game I actually like played was Shinobi on the Sega Master System.
yeah, so
That
like,
shit and Alex Kid. Those were the two first games that I played with my dad growing up. But yeah.
at least their first game is not Fortnite. But the thing is, to some kids, like Fortnite being their first shit, that game is probably like the best thing ever, right? So it's like, if I was a kid growing up and I saw Fortnite, I'd be like, oh shit.
Bro,
Right,
my
so-
daughter's first game is Spider-Man 2. She sits on my lap and she's like, "Can I
Yeah,
hold
that's
it?"
cool.
She's like, "Let me hold it, the controller." And I give her the controller and she starts web slinging. I'm like, "Yes."
Well.
She's not gonna
when you say
remember it,
first
but,
game,
you know.
I mean first game
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you're
yeah.
conscious of the fact that you're playing.
Yeah,
it.
no,
Yeah,
no,
like
you're
cognitive. It won't be till
Yeah.
she's like.
we'll
3
see.
or
We'll see
4.
what her
Yeah.
actual. We'll see what her actual first game is that she's gonna remember. Right? Like
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be Spider-Man 2. I'm probably gonna be like, "Hey, you want to play Spider-Man?" And she's gonna be like, "All right."
No, it's probably gonna be the next 3D Mario game,
Two could be two. Yeah.
which might come out next year.
A Bluey game just came out. It might be that.
That game looks cute. I'm not gonna lie. I want to play that.
I'm gonna buy it for her. I'm gonna buy it for the fact that I'm gonna play it with her.
Right?
Is it?
Isn't that an Xbox game?
Yeah, it's
Am I
on
bugging?
Xbox, but I don't know if it's on Game Pass. It's a multi-plat game, so you know.
Oh, I thought that shit was on there on Xbox.
I'm about to buy it on Steam just so I could play it on the Steam Deck with her.
But like people bring that up a lot. Like, man, all these stupid kids, bro, their first game's gonna be fucking Elden
I think it's
Ring. Their
I think
first
it's
game's gonna be
great
this. And I'm like, you just
though.
sound like a
Like stop
boomer.
hating. Yeah, stop being a fucking boomer.
Yeah.
Like it's great. I brought it up because I'm like, damn, imagine that. Imagine Spider-Man 2 being the first game that you actually get to
peak.
play. That's
Like,
awesome, bro.
Imagine
Like
listen.
Imagine
If Baldur's Gate 3 was my first game, bro.
it's all downhill
Like,
from
I
there.
would be what
Nah.
the fuck? Like,
Well,
my life would be,
I don't know. I don't think young kids like how can you
It's true that
comprehend
that's a
Baldur's Gate
tough
3,
game
bro?
to
I don't know.
understand
That's
as a
I don't
kid.
think so.
tough- I think
That's
so.
you can't generalize people. Like when I was growing up, I literally
I think it depends on the
was
kid,
surrounded
yeah.
by shit
It's gonna
like that.
depend on the kid for
Yeah.
sure.
Like I know kids.
But
that
you
grew
gotta
up
think,
with-
first game 3-4 years old, bro. They're not gonna understand the concept.
Some
of,
kid
like,
might
I didn't
play Baldur's
understand
Gate
the
3 and
majority of
think
the
it's so
concept of Any of the
trash.
games that I was playing,
Yeah.
like, and games were simple back then, and like, so there are kids growing up playing way more fucking advanced. And look, I have friends that I used to play COD with, where their first game, like, they said their first game was fucking what the fuck is the name of that shit? Fuck. Let me go. It was a PS2 RPG. It was a crazy ass PS2 RPG. I forgot the name of the shit. But I
What,
was like,
Dark
damn, that
Cloud
was your
or
first
something?
game? Nah, not Dark Cloud. That's simple as. But I was like, what the fuck? It was something Covenant. I forgot what it was called. It was a JRPG. But I was like, damn, that was your first game? That's cool. Like, and then and all they play is like RPGs now. So you can't really like generalize. Whether you it's not whether you understand it. It's do you enjoy it? Like, are you having fun playing it? Like,
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I didn't care. I played a lot of bullshit that I had no idea. To this day, I was like, why did I play that when I was a kid? I had no idea. I couldn't
Yeah,
even.
you
appreciate
really
it
don't
until I
know
was
what's a
older.
good or bad game
Like,
at that point. Like
yeah.
you don't. You
There
just
are a lot of games that I played as a kid that went way over my head until now.
Yeah.
Right. So, even look to me personally, I feel like growing up with games like Metal Gear, that's crazy for a kid to play. Personally, like
That's
I
outrageous,
didn't know
yeah.
what. Like y'all are older than me, so y'all gotta think about this. I was playing
No,
Metal
I
Gear. I had
can't-
no idea, like what the fuck was going on, but I
can't
loved it.
comprehend.
Like I mean, to
'Cause
be
it's just
fair,
like,
we still can't
You're
comprehend
just
Metal
thinking
Gear.
around. You're getting caught. You sticking around,
Like-
getting caught, and like yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm what? I'm 32. I was playing Metal Gear. I was like 8, 9 years old. I don't know what the fuck's going on in this game, but I love it, right? So I don't know. You can't say. There's so much shit, man. Like, and back then, like I said, games were kind of simpler. Like design-wise, games were way, right?
yeah.
So it's different. But to me, I feel like kids growing up playing shit like fucking Fortnite and building and doing all that crazy shit in Fortnite. I'm like, god damn, what the fuck? That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like these kids building all this crazy shit and creative shit in Minecraft. I'm like, damn, that's cool. But people can shit on Minecraft all they want, but I'm like, I would love for my kid to be creative in a game like that. You just work just work your brain cells. Obviously, there's bullshit. Community's a little weird, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind that being my kid's first game.
Right. So you gonna talk about the poke cookie or no?
No.
Oh my
I mean,
lord.
if we should have talked about that
No.
first. If we're gonna, we should have spoken about that. We were talking about YouTube
That's true.
and shit. We're too deep into the fucking gaming shit now. Come on. Like,
Listen.
Pokemon, your cookies ain't shit. That's it.
You
I think-
stupid. That's
I think
all. That's all that
that-
needs to be said. You
I think
stupid.
that is a good indication that we will end this episode. With that being said, we will check you guys out next time where we'll be not buying your fucking Girl Scout cookies, alright? Let me stop. But alright, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll check you guys out next time.
Apes.
Enjoy yourself. Catch you with the Game Awards. Boy.